Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll show you how to make this heart-shaped purse with t-shirt yarn. We need an 8mm hook, scissors, round hooks, and a yarn sewing pin. And zip. Let's get started. First you need to chain 14. Now you need to turn your work to the back. You see those little bumps at the back? That is where we would be putting in our single crochets. So now you make one single crochet in the second one from your hook. And now you'll make single crochets in 4 more stitches. Now you need to make one single crochet to join 3 stitches together. Watch what I will do. Now that I have 4 loops on my hook, I can pull through all 4 of them. Then you need to make single crochets in the next 3 stitches, and I'll meet you at the last stitch. In the last stitch, you need to make 3 single crochets into the same stitch. Make sure you hide the tail of your work as you move along. Now you need to make single crochets in the next 5 stitches. I like to make my work really tight because you need the bag to be sturdy. It might be quite difficult for you to get your hook into the loop, but just try. In the next stitch, we'll make 3 single crochets into the same stitch. This would form the V part of the heart shape. Once again, you need to make single crochets into the next 5 stitches. Then you make 2 single crochets into the last stitch, and that would make the end of round 1. Like I said earlier, it might be difficult to get in your hook, but don't worry, this will be the last difficult stage. Round 2 onward will be easier. At the beginning of every round, we'll always mark our first single crochet. So in the first stage, you'll make 2 single crochets. Don't forget to mark the very first one so that you can know where the round begins. It's quite easy to lose track of the beginning of the round. Then you make 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Then we'll make 1 single crochet to join 3 stitches together. Then you make 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. At this point, we'll try to increase the shape of the hat. So you make 2 single crochets in each of the next 3 stitches. Then you make single crochets in the next 6 stitches, and the next one you make 3 single crochets in the same stitch. We need to make 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Then we'll make 2 single crochets each in the next 2 stitches. And that brings us to the end of this round. Feel free to stretch your work. To begin the next round, take out the stitch marker. And in this round, in the first stitch we'll have 2 single crochets. In the second stitch we'll have 1 single crochet. Don't forget to return the stitch marker so you don't lose track of where you started the round. Now we need to make a single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then 1 single crochet to join 3 stitches together. If the video is too fast for you to catch up, feel free to pause it, read the instructions on the screen, and continue. I try to make the video quite short. Then you have a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. In the next 6 stitches, we would follow this pattern: 2 single crochets in one stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, and 1 in the last. One single crochet in the next 7 stitches, and when you get to the V point, you make 3 single crochets into the same stitch. One single crochet in the next 7 stitches. Two single crochets in the next, 1 single crochet after that, 2 again, and 1 single crochet to end this round. To begin the fourth round, you start with 1 single crochet in the first stitch, then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Then we make 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches and then 1 single crochet to join 3 stitches together. Then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. To make the increase at this round, we'll have 1 single crochet in 1 stitch, 2 single crochets in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 and 2. Then you have 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches, and that would bring us to the V point at the end of our shape. And as usual, in the V point we'll always have 3 stitches into 3 single crochets into the same stitch. To finish this round, you just have to do 1 single crochet into all the remaining stitches, and then you make the second half of the bag. It's the exact same pattern. Now that we're at the end of the round, feel free to stretch your work. Turn your work to the back, insert your hook into the previous round, pull your yarn out from that stitch. Now chain 1, and in this round we'll work in slip stitches into all our previous stitches. So insert your hook into the very last stitch of the last round, yarn over and pull through. That will make the first slip stitch. Continue to do this all around your work. And now we are at the last one, yarn over and pull through. So in this round we will make a slip stitch to join the round. So go into the first stitch of the round, yarn over and pull through. To begin this next round, we'll chain 1 and turn the work over. In this round, we'll make single crochets into all the slip stitches that you made in the previous round. Be careful, it will look as if you have 2 stitches, so make sure you are picking the one that is on the wrong side of your work. That is where we need to make the single crochets. Now we're at the end of this round. Don't slip stitch. We'll continue to make single crochets, but this time around we won't make it into the stitch, but rather we'll put the hook in between the V point. Make sure it comes out at the back, also in between the V point. Then you make 1 single crochet in each single crochet. Make sure to always check the back of your work so that you are in the right place. Your hook should be inside the V point, not the stitch. And this is the last one of this round. At the end of this round, we will not make a slip stitch. We will make 1 more round of single crochets, once more going into the V points. And go around and meet me at the end of this round. To make the next round, we'll simply make slip stitches into all of the pre-existing stitches. So do that all around your work and meet me again at the end of this round. Now that we're at the end, you skip the last loop and cut the yarn. We want to do an invisible slip stitch at this point. So you insert your hook into the first slip stitch that you made in this round. So that's the one we are skipping, and this is the first. Insert your hook your yarn, pull it through completely, yarn over and pull through. Now insert your hook into the semi to the last one. Pick the 3 loops, yarn over and pull through, and that will be the end of it all. Then you can hide your yarn. Now I have both halves ready. It's time to join them together. You need stitch markers to mark all the points and make sure that you are picking the right loop. Make sure they are equal. It's easier to start from the V part of the love shape and then you trace it all up. So we'll start from the top. We'll start the joining process from the top. When joining, you have to make sure that you pick the inner stitch. You know, it appears as if we have two stitches on both sides of the bag. So you pick the inner stitch for both sides. I'm using this crochet pin to mark the point for you because of its bright color, so that it will be easy for you to know where I'm referring to. That's it. If you get the right point, your pin should go in a straight direction, not slanting. So now you take your hook, the hook that you started the work with, and then you take your yarn, you pull it through both sides of the bag. To join both sides of the bag, we'll simply be making slip stitches all around the bag, picking the inner loops. It will give it a very beautiful joining at the end of the work. That marks the end of it all. So we'll put the zip at this point. To put the zip, you just have to make sure it's well aligned, pin it to the bag, and then start sewing with your needle and thread. When you want to sew the other side, you just need to open the zip to make it easier. Feel free to bend your bag outward to make it easier to sew. The shape cannot be lost. As for these edges, all you need to do is to insert it into your yarn needle and hide it inside. At this edge, we'll just simply cut it, pull it through, and then hide it. If you turn your bag inward, you can also find some loose yarn that you want to sew into your work, depending on if you had to join yarn in the middle of your work. I had a loose yarn at the end, so I had to work it into the work to give it a neater appearance. Make sure you hide all loose yarns, please. can cut the excess after working it in for a long time. Now let's make the handle. So you need to measure 80 centimeters yarn on both sides. Get something strong to weigh down your yarn. You can use a door handle. I'm just using a jar of tomato paste. So you go around your jar or your door handle 5 times. Make sure you have 5 yarns on both sides. Once you have 5 on both sides, you pick the first part of the yarn and the last part, and then you sew both ends. Some people use glue, but I prefer to sew it for a more solid, for more durability. Now you can take it out of wherever you put it, and then you twist both ends in opposite directions. You're about to witness magic happen right now. Keep twisting, make it as tight as possible, and once it is tight, you can join both sides together. So I will just give the part that is in my right hand, I'll give it to my left hand. That's the magic. It curls up on its own. Now what I made here is smaller than what I eventually used for the bag, and that's because I needed it to be in the line of view of the camera. So yes, you need 80 centimeters, but your 80 centimeters will be longer than what you're looking at. If you wait to the end of the video, you'll see what 80 centimeters looks like on the bag. So you insert your round hooks. I have a detachable hook, so I will just use that to anchor it to the bag. And ta-da! Finished product. Watch how I anchor it. Thank you for sticking this long. Please give your girl some thumbs up, subscribe, click the notification bell. I have several videos. I have got a lot of talent and many things to talk about and show you. My zip is in. The bag is beautiful. Please subscribe. Thank you.